Welcome back. I am the Watch King. On this video, we are going to talk about why Tudor will never be Rolex, right? And I'm not just talking about brand sense. I'm not talking about market share. I'm talking about elegance and quality, right? Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate. So before you go into the comments, I'm going to tell a quick story of mine. This literally happened to me yesterday and it kind of inspired this video, right? But we're going to get into more details later. So I was out at a very nice restaurant yesterday and I was sitting there and the gentleman next to me was on a date, right? And I always look at watches. That's the thing about me. When you're in watch collecting, that's something you do. So I looked down, I saw a Rolex Day-Date vintage, either single or double quick. I wasn't gonna bother the guy and ask him what it is, but I saw that it was vintage and it was the older type of bracelet. So I go, okay, right? This guy's dressed very nicely, button-up shirt, dress casual, dress pants, and nice shoes, right? Dress shoes. This is like, you wouldn't wear a sport coat typically. Well, you could, but that's a whole nother story, right? That's another debate. But this was very, very elegant, put together. His hair was nice. The guy was dressed to impress on this date, and kudos to him, right? So I looked at that watch, and then the table in front of me, there was a gentleman sitting there, gym shorts, right? T-shirt, and a Pelagos Tudor. Now, this is a very nice restaurant. I would never wear something like that, but that's personally me. We live in a free world. You can wear whatever you want if the restaurant lets you, right? So that was that gentleman. So it got me thinking. I go, okay, well, this guy, right, with the Day-Date is very elegant, very nicely dressed. Don't get me wrong. The Rolex guy is always, there's going to be Rolex guys who dress like that. But the Tudor guy will never dress like that. That's what I thought of, right? And that's not saying that Rolex people don't dress bad. I've seen Rolexes dressed awful on very bad outfits and not dressed that great, right? So it's not just that always the Rolex guy is going to look better. But the Tudor guy will never look as good as the Rolex guy, right? And I think that's partly got to do with Tudor's watches. I think that's partly got to do with their marketing and a ton of other stuff, right? The Rolex Day-Date will never be, well, I don't want to say that because we'll get to it. I'm kind of skipping ahead with this video, but will never be something that Tudor will make, right? At least I thought so until these releases, right? So continuing on here, they will never make a watch that is dressed that elegant and nice. I think that the actual Day-Date is more of a sporty watch too. Like it's in the oyster case, right? It's on a bracelet. It's not something like a Calatrava, right? That is a real dress watch, right? So I think it's good for that casual stuff. But at the other time, Tudor doesn't even make something remotely close, right? Their dress, quote unquote, dress line is the Royal. It's an integrated bracelet. I've sold one before. Nothing wrong with them, right? They're not chronometer certified. Who cares? It's just a price saving thing. Couple $1,000s, but I would never wear that. Even in a dressed casual situation, I would never wear that watch. I think personally, it's not my taste, right? But that's all subjective. I just don't think it's a dress watch whatsoever. And they just don't make anything. Back in the day, they used to make some cool stuff. I was a huge fan. I personally have a Tudor curated in the watch shop right now, the Tudor Tiger. I think that was their last great generation. But they still make, the Black Bay is a great watch, especially their monochrome that came out this year. And then of course their GMTs are fantastic, right? But the gold watch is trying to get the Day-Date guy, right? That's what kind of came up in my head. I don't want to ramble too long. But this guy that buys the Rolex Day-Date, Tudor's trying to get that clientele. And you're not going to get that clientele by just making a base watch, right? You could just tell the laziness on Tudor, in my opinion. You change the dial color and the bezel color, right? Green, that they normally don't make in regular production. And then you make it solid gold, right? That is the laziest example of making a $30,000+ watch I've ever seen, right? And at least with a Rolex, you get a Daytona in gold, right? In gold, same as the other, not with the bracelet, but who cares? See, it's on Oyster Flex. You're gonna put any collector in the world in a room, and you have two of the same watch, right? Same price point, I mean, two different watches, right? Chronograph in one hand, and a time-only Tudor, everybody's going to choose the chronograph, right? Doesn't even have to be Daytona. You can put it against a gold Submariner, and the sub will win. I think the sub's a lot more elegant than the Black Bay, a lot more design in it, right? The polishing itself, even though they're both machine polished a lot of the time, right? I mean, mostly machines. Rolex takes a lot more care, right, into their watches. So why would you ever spend that kind of money with Tudor? Tudor and everybody, all of my clients, right? I have this Tudor chronograph, and I reach out to clients that I think would have it before posting it. And everybody says, why do you buy a Tudor? Why would you buy a Tudor when I can afford a Rolex, right? I disagree with that, personally, especially that Tudor Tiger. They don't make anything like it. But that's customers' mentality. So they kind of screwed over their ADs, right? Anybody who's an authorized dealer who gets unlucky enough to get this watch, it'll never sell, right? And then they're screwing over their customers, whoever buys it, because it's just not cool. It's just not, now this is my opinion. I don't think anybody said that this watch is innovative, special, does anything cool in a certain way. Just none of that. This watch is a lazy example to try to get to a customer base that they're not at. And this is not how they're going to get there. So this is my rant, right? I went on a whole rant here. I normally don't do that. This is a new, rare form of video. So I want you to all, if you like vintage and quality and nice design, go check out the WatchKingOfficial.com. You can save, $12,000 and buy a very rare day-date in solid gold that has elegance, that has class, with a presidential bracelet. Go check out WatchKingOfficial.com if you were considering the Tudor. So thank you, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day.